Today on the show, I'm here to make writing easier for you, and something that definitely makes writing harder is brain fog, anxiety, and fatigue. Use my proven tricks to optimize your brain health and make the best use of your writing time. And stick around to the end of the show for a fun and brain-activating guided practice. I'm Suzanne Alyssa Andrew, and this is Stardust and Courage, the podcast where we use writing, curiosity, and imagination to see beyond challenges and make life more meaningful. It's mindful writing to go deeper, grow, and imagine, and I'm so very glad you're here today. One main difference between editing and book coaching is that coaching cares about your whole being as a writer, not just what's on the page. And I'm going to coach you as writers today. Something that musicians are always taught is to take care of their instruments and keep them tuned. Musicians take great pride in their instruments and treat them with love and care and respect. And writers, well, we don't really do that so much. Our brains are our instrument, and oftentimes we don't really look after them very well. But we can totally change that and make our minds and brains work for the better. The first way we can take better care of our brains is really fun. My favorite way to practice brain health is to do word puzzles. I love crossword puzzles and word games. My favorite is to do the New York Times mini crossword every day, followed by Wordle and connections. But you probably have your own favorites. Maybe you like Boggle or Scrabble. These kinds of games keep our brains nimble and agile and enhance word recall, which is really important for writing. And I often use the mini crossword and Wordle as a warm-up for my writing day, and it works really well. It wakes up my brain, especially when I'm writing in the morning. I'm not really a morning person, but it's a good time for me to write, so a little bit of warming up with fun games is really effective. The second thing to do, and you're not going to like this very much, especially for someone like me who's a little bit of a night owl, is to go to bed early. The experts say something special happens when you go to bed before 10:30, and I've tested this for myself. I've gone to bed at 10:30 or 11, and even that half-hour difference, for some reason, can have a big impact on your next day. So if I want to get up and write early in the morning, going to bed early is when it actually starts. That's when my writing practice starts, when I go to bed early, not when I get up in the morning. If you wake up in the morning and you're already tired, that's not great. In fact, several years ago, I was working on an on-site contract for a client where I was doing some writing for a client. And they needed me to go into their office, which is something I don't really do. I love working from home. But was a great contract, so I took it on for a short time. And I was trying to get up early in the morning at 6 a.m. to write before I went to the office. And I wasn't going to bed earlier. I was just trying to have a longer day. And it was so tiring, and I kind of shot myself in the foot because everything I wrote at that time was terrible. I was not enjoying getting up at 6 in the morning, feeling exhausted and not having enough sleep. And it really showed on the page. So I would have been better off maybe writing for an hour every evening and then going to bed earlier and starting my work day at that office. The third thing you can do to treat your brain better is to drink less alcohol. And I know that drinking is a social lubricant and there's a lot of peer pressure to do it. But a few years ago, I noticed that everyone who was really killing it in their careers was sober or didn't drink. And I definitely feel more clear-headed to write when I've slept really well with no alcohol and wake up without a hangover. Alcohol can actually decrease the quality of your sleep. So this one is a bit of a doozy for writers. But everybody has a different tolerance and an ability to metabolize alcohol differently. And I know that I'm not the best alcohol metabolizer. So you have to figure out and try what's right for you. I just look to celebrities who I admire, like RuPaul and Liz Gilbert, and note that they don't drink anymore. So they're killing it in their careers and they don't drink anymore. And that's what works for me too. The fourth way to optimize your brain health is to feed your brain with healthy vegetables, proteins, and fats, and avoid those nasty, highly processed foods, which can actually, studies have shown, impact your thinking and behavior. Pay attention to what you're eating and how that impacts your body and your brain thinking. I know that for me, I have a few food sensitivities and allergies, and food sensitivities and allergies can sometimes cause brain fog. So when I eat the foods that I'm sensitive to, next day of writing is not going to be very good. So it's really important to know and work with a registered dietitian or naturopath or somebody who's a professional to help make sure you're eating the right nutrition for your brain health. I think this is something we as writers don't talk about enough, but it's really, really important. So put that on your to-do list to check into your nutritional edge and see what impact it has on your life to change your eating habits for the better. The next way that I tell all my students and clients about is to get out for walks, especially if you're stuck. If you get stuck on what happens next in your story, or you get stuck on a line in a song you're writing, the best way to blast through any writing block is to go out for a walk. And you can go out and notice things and get a different perspective and watch people. I love watching people. It's so much fun. It can really change your whole perspective on things and give you the ideas that you need. And you'll probably come home with a bunch of new ideas or just more of a sense of calm and groundedness that you can use for your next writing session. My favorite brain optimizing tip is to meditate. And for years I meditated, but it was random. And this is the first year I've had a daily practice where I've committed to meditating for at least 20 minutes a day. And oh my goodness, I had no idea. You hear people talk about the impact of meditation on their sense of well-being and calm and just brain agility and creativity. And that random meditation when I felt stressed out wasn't really doing it the same way a daily practice is doing it. So that's something to look into for yourself and see if that works for you. And I'll throw in one more tip before we get to the visualization. Definitely wear a helmet if you're riding your bike or doing sporty things that could cause you to fall in some way, because you don't want to have a concussion or brain injury impeding your writing practice and keeping you from your goals. When I first started riding a bike in the busy city of Toronto, when I first moved there, my brother made me promise to wear a helmet always, and I always did because I promised him, and I always keep my promises when I can. And it made a huge difference. I'm so glad. I did fall off my bike a few times, but I didn't damage my brain because I was wearing a helmet, thank goodness. Before we get to the fun visualization, I just want to put it out there that I have a few coaching spots left for summer and fall. If you're listening to this in real time, so check into that and get on my waiting list when you go to my website at SuzanneAndrew.com. Okay, are you ready for the fun part? Today we're going to visualize going to a library in our minds. Let's start the visualization. Look around you and notice 3 colors or shapes that you like. I'm going to go for shapes today, and I see circles. I love circles. I see leaf shapes that are kind of diamonds. And I see lots of rectangles because the walls in my writing studio are very square. When you feel grounded in the present, take some big belly breaths in and out. Feel your belly rise and fall as you breathe. And if it feels good, put your hand on your heart, or wrap your left hand around your right shoulder and your right hand around your left shoulder, and give yourself a little hug and just hold yourself in that little hug as we do the visualization. Today we're going to visualize that we're walking into a beautiful, glamorous library. It's full of beautiful metal shelves full of books, great big windows letting in the sun. There's interesting angles and curves everywhere. It's probably the most beautiful building you've ever been in. And this beautiful building is actually in your mind, and it's your mind library. It's where all your memories are stored. It's your whole life, past, present, and future. And you feel really safe and special and encouraged in this library because your life is worthy and meaningful. And the more you look at the books all around you, the more you see how meaningful and worthy your life is. In your pocket, you have a flashlight, and you pull the flashlight out of your pocket now and shine a spotlight on any of the books. Notice what colors the books are. Notice any smells and sounds and sensations. Maybe there's a waterfall in the middle of your library that sounds really soothing. Maybe there's music playing. Take a couple books off the shelf and sit down on the very soft plush carpet. Feel the soft plush carpet beneath you and a very sturdy bookshelf behind you supporting your back. And flip through the book. In the book is a very treasured memory of yours. Think about what that memory is. It's one of your favorite memories of all time. And as you flip through the pages of that book, that memory comes alive again in your mind's eye. Take a moment to appreciate that memory and all the sounds and sensations, smells and flavors of it. Think about who you were with in that memory, where you were, how old you were, and really just enjoy it. Really just appreciate having that experience and that time. See how precious it is. It's very, very precious. When you're ready, make a mental note of this special, precious memory to write about later. And put the book back on the shelf. We're going to get on an elevator to bring you back into the room where you are now. And when you're ready, slowly come back into the room. You've been blessed with wisdom, imagination, and intelligence. Take good care of your memories and the memory library of yours. Take good care of your wisdom, imagination, intelligence, and strength. Take good care of your brain. I'm sending you all the stardust and courage for your writing week ahead. Enjoy it, and I'll see you next time. Be sure to subscribe, and if you like this show, tell a friend. Thank you.